get you, my pretty, and your little mouse, too. Ha!
Hey everyone, it's your friend Lindsay here at MWD Respect the Ears, Magical World of Disney. Alright, so I didn't want to give it a lot of time to prepare for this, so we're just going to have to shorten it and get right to it. See, I am the villain for a common mouse. I am a kitty cat. Rare! So, I'm going to go ahead and introduce this as the top 20 Disney villains countdown, so watch it and enjoy. Starting with number 20, we have Gaston. Now, a lot of you may know that Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney film, but let's just not confuse that Gaston is my favorite villain. He is not by any means. To me, he's just a egotistical man who can't get what he wants, so instead of just moving on and finding another girl that's fawning over him to feed his ego, he goes and kills another guy who she's in love with. Yeah, that's the way to solve your problems. Go ahead, you do that, boy. Number 19, Captain Hook. So, in the past, as a kid, I thought Captain Hook was a bit of a pansy, but if we look a little bit closer, we can see that Captain Hook not only himself symbolizes adulthood, but it also symbolizes the death of childhood and magic and imagination as we know it, which is probably why he's perfectly okay with killing a child who just wants to have fun and fly about with his little lost boys. Oh well. Alright, number 18, Jafar. So, this tall, slender, stylish, skinny man held all the power as he brainwashed the Sultan and kind of ruled the throne without anybody being the wiser until he got a little too greedy, a little too lustful for Princess Jasmine, and along came the street rat. So, he doesn't get really that high of a place on this list, but he did have style and I respect him for that. Number 17, Radcliffe. Okay, so this guy had, not that much style in my opinion for a villain, but he was willing to come in onto a different native's land and kill anyone who got into his way for greed. And he didn't mind his own men who trusted him with their lives. He didn't mind if they died for a pointless cause, since there was no gold anyway. He didn't care, he wasn't gonna listen, he was just gonna let people die for no reason. To me, that is a true villain. And number 16 is our first tag team. Alright, so this is Commander Rourke and Helga Sinclair. Probably not a lot of you have heard of them because you have not watched the movie. It did not make as big of bucks in the box office, but we're talking about Atlantis. They worked together to basically use the people on an excavation to Atlantis, and they were totally okay with people dying for their own greed. They were okay with killing this entire civilization and all the knowledge they could have learned from these people who have lived thousands of years on this life source that they are taking away from them. They're killing men, women, and children alike by taking their life source away from them, and they have no problem doing that whatsoever for greed. Enough said. They really have no care about it at all, including they don't mind killing each other, especially Rourke. He just goes ahead and tries to toss Helga out of a moving air balloon. No problem killing each other for greed. Nothing personal. 15, Cruella de Vil. Not only does she have style, but she's okay with wearing dead animals with pride and is okay with killing puppies. Enough said. Number 14, Ursula the Sea Witch. Now let's get into a proper mood here. Recipe for a top-notch villain. Well, villainess, to be more correct. Into the bubbling cauldron, I throw in killer style, making black more than just an accent. An epic, sinister song that gives you chills. Minions. No, not those minions. Those minions. Wants revenge for a grudge she can't let go of. And an evil, crazy-eyed look when that goal is achieved and she finally gets what she wants. And number 13, the Evil Queen. So this woman is beautiful in face but not in heart. She wants her 14-year-old stepdaughter's heart in a box as a trophy. She's perfectly okay with killing her. And of course, she's willing to drastically change her appearance and her voice just to get what she wants. Jealous much? So number 12 is Hades. What I really love about Hades is he's sarcastic, has dark humor. I love that he has the blue flames coming out of his head because that's the hottest flame of all. So, he's hot. Not really, he actually is not that attractive as a Disney character, but hey. His humor still gets to me. He has been planning this tyrannic overthrow of Olympus since before Hercules was born. But when his little nephew comes into the picture, he has no problem killing his newborn nephew. And yes, it is his nephew. Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades were all brothers, if you had not read the original, mythology. He has no problem killing his nephew to achieve his goal. So, he does have a villain, evil way about it. And coming up at number 11, Yzma. She has that evil empress style, is a hostile overachiever, has a henchman named Kronk who cracks me up, not afraid to get her hands dirty if needed, and Kronk screws everything up. She's determined, but she makes me laugh a lot, which is good for an evil empress to be. And coming in on number 10, Clayton. Not many of you may remember him as a villain, but to me, he's probably one of the worst villains out there. Forces Tarzan to trust him and show him where the gorillas are. And once he does, he locks all of them up. He cages all of Tarzan's family so he can sell them piece by piece. What a monster. Not to mention the epic death scene. That makes a chilling villain. And coming in on number 9, Dr. Facilier. From Princess and the Frog, he uses voodoo powers, which he probably sold his soul for, which his villain song is one of the most epic ones I've seen in Disney history. When I saw it in theaters, it took my breath away. It was almost as if voodoo magic had taken over me. I've seen his death scene in itself was just so powerful, it haunts you. I guess he is part of some Louisiana Ghost tour now. And number 8, Scar. A flamboyant male lion with a sarcastic nature, an epic villain song, and is willing to kill his own brother and his baby nephew out of years of petty jealousy just to obtain the throne. It's kind of a modern version of Hamlet, only told by lions. What a villain. And number 7, the Oogie Boogie Man. He is the boogeyman, for one. He's made out of a creepy sack with little holes for eyes and mouth, and bugs. He likes to gamble. He was going to kill and eat Santa. Plus, epic sinister villain song. Gotta respect. And number 6, one of my personal favorites, the Queen of Hearts. I love Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. You'll come to know that more as I do more videos and more updates. I'm always thought she was really bossy and kind of a hothead when I was a kid, but as I got older, I found her to be more relatable. She is mad, angry, and mad, insane. She has fantastic style, and on any whim, she likes to cut people's heads off and end their lives. So, she's pretty villainous if I do say so myself. And we're getting down to the final 5. So, number 5, Mother Gothel. She found a way to keep herself physically young and beautiful. For years, even centuries, by hoarding a magic flower, which, once it got ingested, became a baby, which she was perfectly okay with kidnapping the baby from its crib and pretending as if it were his mother and raising her all those years. She is kind of a bad girl sexy. You have to respect her for that. Plus, her songs seem bright and cheery when actually, if you really listen to it, it's very adult and demented. Prince Hans. Number 4. You don't fake loving a girl. Then, at the very moment she trusts you, you tell her you never loved her. No one has ever loved her. proving you just used her. Then you leave her to die as you execute her sister and take the throne. You! And the final three. Number 3, Judge Claude Frollo. Now this one is a little bit more deep because the book itself was very deep. And they left a lot out. Disney did, but they still left so much in there. Now, Judge Claude Frollo was willing to burn down an entire city and kill anyone, guilty or innocent, that got into his way. All because he was horny and lustful for one chick. He was being selfish, self-righteous about it the entire time. He was also willing to kill the boy he raised after killing his mother on the steps of a church because he got in his way. Talk about an issue and a god complex. That man needs some therapy. Now, what you've been waiting for to find out who wins and who the runner-up is. Now you all are probably going to be surprised because number 2 is Maleficent. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Throw your tomatoes, I don't care. Maleficent to me is only number 2, even though she is a badass. One word, badass. Her style, her grace, the way she carries herself, and she enters a room, she keeps her head held high and talks down to the fools below her. Yes, I said fools. Her mere speech gives you chills, especially her sinister laugh. If you have not heard it, look it up. Plus, she can turn into a dragon. There is only one villain that rises above her, and that villain is the Horned King. Yeah, baby, that's right, I said it. Not many of you heard about him, but he is the most epic Disney villain out there. The Horned King from Disney's The Black Cauldron. His entrance into the movie brings chills down your spine. His rotting skeletal body underneath his blood-red cloak, adorned with animal fur, can only be seen by his hands, his horns, and his face. Of course, his face is darkened by his hood, until suddenly he juts at you with his glowing red eyes and sharpened fangs. This demon plans to take over the world with his army of the undead skeleton soldiers. He is more than willing to murder and sacrifice anything to achieve his goal. After he has his army of undead skeletal soldiers, he forgets about his living followers and couldn't care less if we all die in the process. He keeps these dead corpses sleeping in a chamber. He has pet gnarly dragons that do his bidding, and he feeds scraps to. His closest henchman is often strangled by him, punishing him for his stupidity, and his voice is the most evil voice you would ever listen to. I swear to all of you who are watching, if you have not heard the voice of the Horned King and you think you know what a villain is, look it up. Look it up right now. I don't care. Pause this video, look it up. Alright. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time up, so I'll end it on that note. I hope you all enjoyed my video, and I hope you come and watch more of them in the future. If you want, click below to subscribe, to like. I appreciate all your comments. If you want to give some comments or thought below, maybe I forgot somebody that you wanted me to add. And if you have some ideas for future videos, I'd love to hear them. Alright? I'll see you again next time. Bye!